Everybody right now has dreams, don't they, guys? All right, everybody in the NFL, I have a dream of making it in the NFL. I got a dream of winning a Super Bowl. I got a dream of being in a Pro Bowl. I'm really not into dreams anymore, okay? I'm into fucking nightmares. You guys with me on that?
Mosh pit.
You gotta end somebody's dream. You gotta take their job. You gotta take their heart. Are you guys clear about this NFL shit now? We're not trying to go to the Peach Bowl. We're not trying to go to the Gator Bowl or the Bluebonnet Bowl. We're trying to go to the Super Bowl.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Just win, baby. I love it. You know, I sit in my office and I just shake. I get so excited.
Raider Nation, what is good, everybody? Before we jump into the pregame for the Browns, we got to address the elephant in the room. Last Sunday's loss to the Buccaneers was embarrassing. Flat out embarrassing. The running game could not get going. Josh Jacobs even called it an embarrassing game for him. The defensive line got absolutely zero pressure on Tom Brady all game. And obviously, if you can't get pressure, Tom Brady's going to pick you apart, and that's just what he did. They ended up scoring 45 points. Granted, a couple of those scores were late in the game to extend the lead, but you know, those were big moments that we needed stops. After we kicked the field goal, they marched down and score. Just to put the deficit higher and higher. So, look, I don't know what else it's going to take to get Gunther at least on the hot seat. It doesn't even seem like he's on the hot seat. There's an article right here. John Gruden wants changes on the defense, but not a defensive coordinator. So we're going to keep bringing in, new guys, see if they can help us out, but we're not going to fix the internal problem. And the big issue here is we already went and did this same thing. We went out and got guys to be playmakers for us. Nick Kwiatkowski, Corey Littleton, Malik Collins, Carl Nassib. Vic Tafur put out a tweet that I thought was very interesting. He said, free agent signings Corey Littleton, Nick Kwiatkowski, Carl Nassib, and Malik Collins have combined for 5 tackles for a loss, 3 passes broken up, 1 quarterback hit, and a half a sack and no interceptions. This is not what we thought we were going to get when we landed these guys in free agency. There's been little to no production, and arguably, we've seen the most impact from Nick Kwiatkowski, and he's been hurt. So, Corey Littleton, 3 tackles for loss, no passes defensed. Carl Nassib has a pass defensed and a tackle for loss. Malik Collins, no tackles for loss, no sacks, and 1 quarterback hit. He's been really bad. Now, for Corey Littleton to have no passes defensed, and for Malik Collins to have no sacks and only 1 quarterback hit is just mind-boggling. We brought these guys in for those reasons specifically, and they haven't done it. It's been a big letdown. So, in my opinion, you're bringing guys that were playmakers for other teams onto this team, and they're not performing. That only leads to coaching. As a defensive coordinator, Paul Guenther should be adjusting to the players he has. Is he doing something differently with these guys than they were doing on other teams where they had success? What's the issue? I don't understand. Also, Rod Marinelli, this defensive line has not been good. They were way better, played with way more fire under Buckner. And we brought in this guy, a Hall of Fame caliber coach. I have not seen any improvement. So, at what point does Gruden get fed up and say, I messed up? We need new coaching. I think it's time to start admitting that maybe you made some mistakes in hiring who you hired. It might be time to say bye-bye to your buddy Gunther. Maybe it's time for Marinelli to step into the defensive coordinator position. Let's see what happens. Let's shake something up. This is supposed to be the guy, right? A legend of a coach. So far, I haven't seen him do anything special with the defensive line. I'd be curious to see what he can do with a whole defense. Bottom line, what we got going on right now is not working. And I think Gruden might be too stubborn to admit that he made a mistake with Paul Guenther. It's time to let your buddy go. Mayock needs to be in Gruden's ear, telling him, look, something's got to change. Mayock did a great job bringing guys in this offseason. We had a bunch of guys come in that everybody thought they were going to be difference makers on this team. And you hand them over to Paul Guenther, and he turns them into nobodies. This has got to be a sign, right? When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? When life gives Paul Guenther lemons, he makes beef stew. Bonus points to whoever can tell me what I'm referencing there. I'd be surprised, but I'd be stoked. Bottom line, I think it's time for some real changes on this defense. I know it, you guys know it, something's not working. I think it's coaching. What do you guys think? You know what? I already know what you guys think. I've seen it all over the place. Everybody's tired of Paul Guenther. But if you think it's something else, let's chat about it. Now, with that being said, trade deadline's right around the corner. There's some big names on the trade block. Are we going to go out and make any splashes on the trade block right now? Because the Raiders sure could use a safety. Sure could use another linebacker. A veteran corner. There's still holes on this defense. And the Raiders could address at least one of those holes by making a trade. Let's look at some of the names that are on the trade block. This is from Bleacher Report. Stephon Gilmore. Huge name. Gonna cost a lot though. But arguably the best corner in the NFL right now. A true number one corner. Raiders could make a move. They've got some cap space. I don't know if it's enough cap space for a guy like Gilmore. Carlos Dunlap got traded for what I think was a conditional 6th-round pick, so next to nothing. The Raiders definitely could use help with the pass rush, and that's a Guenther guy. Would you guys be down for Dunlap for a 6th? I don't know. He's 31. I think the Seahawks made a good move here. They're pushing to, be one of the best teams in the league right now, so adding some defense helps that team, and they're looking to win now. Are the Raiders ready to make a deep playoff push right now? Are they one pass rusher away from the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't think that he's the end-all be-all. I think we need a safety. If we're going to go out and get a safety, Anthony Harris might be on the market, and he might be one of the best deep safeties in the league right now. Pair him with Jonathan Abram. I think that's a pretty nice safety duo. And, Anthony Harris is a guy I'd way rather have than Dunlap. Obviously, we know Dunlap's off the market, but I'm just using it as a comparison to what this defense really needs right now. And, there's still some defensive linemen that are on the trade block. None that I really love for this team. Ryan Kerrigan, Trent Murphy, Vic Beasley is a really talented guy, but I'm not sure if he's really the kind of DN that Gruden, Mayock, and Guenther are looking for. So I don't see us getting him. I want to point something else out. AJ Boye, a veteran corner, went for a 4th-round pick to the Broncos. I think that would have been probably a pretty good pickup. Also, there's talks about J.J. Watt possibly being on the trade block. And he would be more of a defensive end that would fit our style of defense. I don't know. Would you guys be interested in J.J. Watt? For me, it comes down to how much are you willing to put into trades for veteran guys right now? How much draft capital are you willing to give up? The Raiders are kind of in a weird spot where things are clicking offensively, but defensively it's not working at all. And maybe they're a few pieces away. Maybe they're an edge rusher away. Maybe it's an edge rusher and a safety and a veteran corner. So do you go give up 3 draft picks to go get 3 guys on the trade block? Or do you trust the process and wait and keep drafting young guys? I think you go out and you make an offer for Anthony Harris. And you see what that defensive backfield looks like going into the second half of this season. And then after that, if there's anything left over that you're willing to part with, maybe go make a play on a defensive end or a linebacker, Denzel Perryman or J.J. Watt. But yeah, my top target in this trade frenzy would be safety Anthony Harris from the Vikings. Dude is a playmaker, a ball hawk type guy. Last year he went out and grabbed 6 picks. So this is a center field type guy, deep safety guy that I think would pair really well with Jonathan Abram. So let's move on to this week's game against the Browns, playing in Cleveland. This Browns team has proven that it can put up points. Its defense has not been great. So this looks like it'll probably be a shootout. Now, if there's one thing that doesn't help the Browns, it's that obviously Odell Beckham Jr. just tore his ACL. It's a big playmaker on their team, and they're going to have to rely more on Jarvis Landry. One thing that does help the Browns, Myles Garrett is going to be cleared to play, and he's going to get a full workload against the Raiders. And, the Raiders are going to have their hands full with him. He's the NFL's sack leader right now. And after a game where the offensive line didn't play that well against the Buccaneers, granted, they didn't have any time to practice all week, so hopefully they'll be better this week. Also, Trent Brown was at practice today on Friday, so hopefully we'll see him. We definitely see the difference that Trent Brown makes for this team, so that's good news that he's out there. Jonathan Abram is back for us. Arden Key hasn't been practicing all week, so we probably won't see him on Sunday. Also, Brian Edwards has come back to practice. He's been a light participant, but is listed as doubtful right now. I don't think we'll see Brian Edwards this week against the Browns. And obviously Incognito is still out with that Achilles. I can't wait for him to come back. But besides those three guys, it looks like the Raiders are going to be mostly healthy and almost back to full power. I expect the Raiders to bounce back huge in this game. I expect the offense to get rolling. And like I said, I expect it to be somewhat of a shootout. The Browns, they've had a couple games where they've scored 6 and 7 points. So they have the potential to flop. You factor in the fact that Odell's not playing. I really hope to see this defense respond, come back strong this week, get some pressure on Baker Mayfield, make him throw an interception or two. We know that he can get kind of flustered and make some mistakes, but he's more than capable of making the big play. They've put up 49 points on the Cowboys, 35 points, 34 points, 32 points, 37 points, and then they had the two games that I mentioned earlier, 7 and 6. So this offense can score, but they do have a potential to go out there and put a stinker up. So the Raiders need to come out with some fire this week and respond to the critics and really just show that this defense has potential. After the Chiefs game, we thought, okay, they've got some potential. And, then we got to the Bucs game, and it was right back to square one. So let's hope this defense can show us something here. And I do have the Raiders winning this game. Now, the Browns are 5-2, but they've beat the Bengals twice. They beat the Washington football team. And then they went out and got some wins against the Colts and the Cowboys, who are both good teams. But you see when they play the Steelers or the Ravens, teams that are, better than good, they can't even compete. The Raiders have competed with the Saints. The Raiders have beaten the Chiefs. The Raiders competed with the Bucs until the end of the fourth. So I think the Raiders are a better 3-3 team than the Browns are a 5-2 team. So I do expect the Raiders to go out and get a dub here. I do expect it to be a shootout. I expect it to be an entertaining game. And I'm looking for the defense to, answer back. Drop some comments. Let's chat about the trade block. Let's talk about this week's game. As always, thank you guys so much. Peace out and much love, Raider Nation.